All right, so we're back here, not quite mid-season, but with our mid-season pod, talking about the All-Stars as usual, joined by Peter. What's up, Pete?
How's it going?
Good, good. So this kind of
Happy
came
Valentine's Day.
Happy Val. Yeah, we're recording this on Valentine's Day. I mean, I have a clear excuses. I don't have anyone to,
Yeah.
that's worrying about me in the other room right now.
Yeah.
You've decided to completely just ignore the girlfriend for the day.
Yeah. We're not going to talk today. It's a vow of silence. So
There we go. If that's not leading to a strong, healthy relationship, then I don't know what is.
yeah.
So, all right, but we're gonna go through all our all-stars. We're initially just gonna do the starters, but I think we'll run through because I feel like we're gonna have a lot of similarity in the starters, so it might be one or two we're gonna have to discuss. But then a lot of, I think, debate will come in when we go through our reserves for the final 7 spots, and probably most likely those final like 3 and 4 spots on each roster. So you want to start with the East or the West?
Let's go with the East first.
East. All right, so we're just gonna go starters here. I'm gonna go through mine, and I'm guessing it's gonna be mostly the same. My guess right now is we're gonna have one difference.
Okay.
So I'll just go through it. So I think it's a kind of lock for the front court. I have Embiid, Kevin Durant, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. You have the
There's
same?
no arguments possible.
That was
Yep.
I think the easiest choice of for a position set, right?
Yeah.
I went through. I actually did the little.
The only argument you can make is KD missing games, but he didn't miss him because he was injured. He just missed him because of COVID protocol. So it seems unfair to dock him for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am docking people for missing game regardless of what reason, and you'll see that a little bit later on. But I don't think he missed enough.
Yeah.
I have other guys that I think on here that have missed more. So, all right. So now let's go to the guards. Guards. I think you probably have this person. I have Bradley Beal.
No.
Okay. And then my second guard is actually Zach LaVine.
I disagree with both of those, I guess.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm gonna guess you put Kyrie and Harden.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay. I have Kyrie and Harden later. But okay. Well, I think personally Bradley Beal is.
Yeah, so I think I should try to
no-brainer.
defend not having Beal, and you should have to defend putting LaVine on.
All right. So tell me why do you don't have Beal on there?
So I've watched a lot of Wizards basketball this year, more than probably even most Wizards fans, I would say. And I don't like Bradley Beal. I know he's like scores a lot of points. That's great. His team has no like identity. They have no leadership whatsoever. Is part of that the fact that they have the worst coach in basketball in Scott Brooks? Yeah, okay, partially that, but also I don't like how like Beal is like smiling and playing around when they're down by 28. And he's like, "Oh, I got my number, so I guess it's cool." It's like, no, man, you're getting rocked, and like that roster isn't that bad. Like it's not like the worst roster in the NBA, you know. Yet they're the worst team in the NBA. So how could they have an all-star starter? It makes no sense.
Understandable. I disagree with one of the things you said there. I don't think he's smiling around. I mean, all the memes, gifs, and stuff are coming out of him like frustrated on the bench and just like visibly upset that his team sucks.
Maybe he's doing the thing where he's like laughing so you don't cry, but it doesn't seem that way to me.
Let me go through this.
He's definitely smiling. I know for sure he's smiling. I see him do it all the time, and they talk about it on the broadcast, like. Drew Gooden's the play-by-play for the Wizards, and he'll be like, "I like how Bradley's not playing around," and then a minute later, he's like goofing off playing around.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're losing that much, I don't think anyone's going to be depressed the whole time. It's just eventually, no matter.
Well, there's another guy we could talk about who's depressed the whole time because his team is underperforming. He's in the Western Conference, though.
Okay, we'll get to there.
I think you know. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think we know too. Okay, so all right, understandable. I still think Beal just like 33 points a game.
Oh, let me hit you with
the fact
another
that they
stat
have any wins at all.
Let me hit you with a stat on Beal though too. first guy to ever score 40 points and have his team lose 10 games in a row. In all of those games, they scored 40 points.
That's pretty impressive.
So is that good or bad for him? Nobody knows.
I don't know, but I think of the All-Star game as more of a, hey, it's fun. It's a more fun, less about which is completely going to go against my decision making later on, where I'm going to value winning. But I think once you get to a certain threshold, right, though, like just the stats, the raw stats, I got to include you in the All-Star game, and I feel Beal has that. And yeah, I don't know. There was one guy that I was thinking about putting in, but Beal was my lock in this. Let me defend Zach LaVine.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let me pull up his little stats here. So Zach LaVine,
he has good numbers. I have him.
That's what I'm saying. He has good numbers.
All-Star.
Plus, it's tough. I had it between him and actually not Kyrie or Harden. I had it between him and Jaylen Brown for that last spot.
Why not Kyrie or Harden?
I just don't think either of them have, impacted their team as much just because of the missed games as these other guys that have played.
Well, you got to count the games Harden had on the Rockets too.
Yeah, those count against them.
Doesn't help, yeah.
I think you'd rather have me not count those.
Yeah, let's just start at the Nets.
No, but Zach LaVine's numbers are 28 points per game. He's shooting 43% from three, 51%, almost 52% from the field, and he's 5-5 on rebounds and assists. So he's, if his team is a few more wins higher, he's a complete lock to be in the East. I think.
Yeah.
Starters and borderline MVP. Just with those numbers. It's just the biggest knock on him is the lack of winning, and even in that case, it's not terrible. They're not Washington with 6 wins. They got 10 wins.
Right.
They're hovering.
I think
slightly around that number 10 spot to make the playoffs or make the play-in game.
I think if you want to make an argument for one of the two, it's LaVine has a better argument. His numbers are pretty much this. He's averaging fewer points, but I feel like his other numbers are better, and his team is twice as successful. So,
yeah. No, I like the LaVine. It's funny because this actually only changed from my initial, because I actually filled out a ballot on day 1 of the voting.
Yeah.
And it's funny, on both side or on this East side, only one of my starting spots has changed since that day, and the West 2 have. But LaVine was the one that played himself in. I had Jaylen Brown at that point because I think Boston at that point was the number 2 seed, and Brown hadn't missed any time yet.
Yeah.
So I think LaVine has for sure. I think it's a no question that he's an all-star.
Yeah, it's not even close. His numbers are just too good.
I guess Kyrie and Harden, they got the bigger star power name, but I like putting in guys that feel like have earned into that spot too. So cool. You want anything else you want to talk about? Well, who was you said? You talk about Harden for a little bit.
Yeah, Harden's a tough one. Obviously we were joking about the start of the season, but I think it does have to kind of factor in a little bit. He totally didn't show up for the first week or two. And so, but I think I watched a decent amount of Nets too, since I have them also in the wins pool. And yeah, he's he really stabilizes that team, obviously more than Kyrie does. He distributes a lot better, and his defense is much better now that he's on the team that he wants to win games on. So I actually think other people have said this, but I think the Harden Durant combo is the one, and then Kyrie's kind of there, but Kyrie's not, I was looking up Kyrie's stats. They're also really good. So it's surprisingly good. He's averaging 27 a game or something crazy. So
yes, 27.6. He's shooting 50% from the field and 40% from 3. So
yeah, I don't know.
Right now he's 50, 40, 90.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even watching him, I don't feel. I mean, like if he takes a mid-range jumper, you do feel like it's going in, but um, I don't know. I don't feel like he impacts winning as much as Harden and Durant do.
Mhm. I
So
think,
if I could only pick one, I would pick Harden over Kyrie.
yeah. Yeah, and then the one other thing a little bit against him too is the 19 games played only. Um, Same
Yeah,
with Durant, but Durant's numbers are way better. So
yeah, and also he has a great story of like coming back from the Achilles and just crushing it. So everyone missed Durant, and they walloped the Warriors last night.
interesting. That's funny. So I just noticed something here. I guess this makes sense. Wins and losses, right? Um, I was surprised it said under. So I'm looking at Kyrie's stats. It says he only has 11 wins this season, and then I was looking at Durant next to him. He has 12 wins. I was like, how's that possible? But it's actually counting the games they played, not the because
Yeah, that's weird.
the Nets have I think 16 or 17 wins this
No, I
season.
think maybe they have like 15 now. I think they have 15 out the one
Let me pull it up.
yesterday.
So they have 16 and 12. So,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, I guess it's only counting the games you played. So yeah, there you go. Durant has one more win. 12 and 7 versus Kyrie's 11 and 8.
Yeah, they looked a lot, man. They really struggled that week without Durant.
Versus Harden's 11 and 11. But I think that's counting some
That
of the
counts Houston too.
Houston stuff.
Yeah. All right, you want to go to the West, or do you
Yeah,
want to the East reserves?
Let's just finish off with the East. Let's since we already started talking about we
Okay.
talked enough about. I think we're both. I'm gonna go through a few that I think we both are gonna have. Kyrie and Harden, obviously.
Yeah.
You have. I'm guessing you. That's who I have on my bench.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing you have Beal and Levine on the bench.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can knock all those guys out. Next three guys that I kind of had as locks that I don't know if you have or not are Jaylen Brown, Trae Young, and Chris Middleton.
I didn't have Middleton. I had Brown and Young though. Young was my last person.
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown, yeah, I had him too.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Last person.
Yeah, he was like the last guy I had.
Okay. I think just again stats wise, entertaining, all star wise, all that kind of
stuff. I don't like him, man. I just don't like him. I don't like the way he plays, and it's like Harden-esque, but he's not as good as Harden. It just bothers me, man. So and also, and really doesn't like his hair. So you got to factor that in.
Got it. No, but I think it's not too much to be said. I mean, Trey's got the stats. His team kind of sucks, so he'll be in there. Jaylen, I couldn't put two, so I'll spoil. I don't have Tatum in the rest of this. I have him in my, others receiving votes section.
You don't have Tatum as an all-star in the East?
No.
How is that even possible?
I didn't
even check his. I didn't check his stats. He's like supposed to be a starter.
Well, first of all, yeah, I guess he's played more games than I thought he had. Low on the games played. Actually, I should have looked at this even more.
He's played 20 games.
Yeah, I thought it was closer to like 15.
You want to amend that?
Might amend something here. All right.
Okay, maybe take out Middleton.
No, I'm keeping in Middleton. I think Middleton's a lock. I feel like Middleton gets disrespected. The guy, I watched him at least against the Lakers that game because I don't watch too much of the Bucks, but I saw him against the Lakers. He's their best option and their best scorer at the end of games. It's not Giannis.
Yeah.
He's the guy
they lose a lot of games at the end. So
still, the fact that he's the number one option on a team in crunch time. That is what I think they're two now in the East. How does that team not have two All-Stars?
I just
plus, I mean, I can go through the stats as well.
He's good. He's averaging like a 50, 40, 90 too. But yeah, the thing about it is like you watch a Bucks game and you're like, where's Middleton? And then he's on the court. That's not the problem. It's just like a lot of times you like don't know. I think that's why his like percentage is so good because he only takes a shot if it's like a really good shot. But I don't feel like he like really creates a lot of great looks for himself. Just the beneficiary of being on Giannis's team for the most part.
I would have to disagree. The guy's I'll tell you this much. I'd rather have Giannis trying to score at the end of the game than Middleton trying to score on me at the end of the game.
Yeah, maybe, but there's a whole other 47 and a half minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he played pretty good in those too. So, all right. So, who do you have? Go through the rest of your guys.
So I think Tatum instead of Middleton is probably my switch.
Okay. Well,
then,
I mean, there's still 4 more spots after this you can have. So.
No, there's only 2 more spots because we both have Levine, Brown, Beal, and Young.
Oh yeah, sorry. 3 more spots I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no. Yeah, 2 more spots. You're right.
So besides Tatum, I have Simmons and Sabonis.
Ben Simmons.
Correct.
I left off Ben Simmons. I put him as others receiving votes. I put Sexton in the others receiving votes. I really wanted to put him in, but I couldn't.
Okay, I'm glad you did. I wanted to put him in too.
I've also seen a lot of Cleveland because I have them in the wins pool.
Yeah, I think I'm really biased about Cleveland because I saw they played the Nets like back-to-back games and the Nets lost both. And I think Sexton had like 40 points and scored like 11 points in the second overtime and just completely dominated Kyrie. So I also wanted to put him in, but his numbers aren't as good and their team isn't as good.
So I had Sabonis as well. I at first I had gotten down to this level and I was like, wait a minute. And I look at the standing, I see Indiana, I think at 3 or something like that. Where are they at? Oh, they're at 5. They're at 5. And I was like, how do I not have any Pacers? And I had already written down Julius Randle as a consideration.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. So
Sabonis is a better player. Anyway.
I had Randle as a consideration that I quickly got rid of. Vucevic, another consideration. Simmons, like I said, and then Hayward. So that my last spot actually came down to Hayward. Was Hayward, but I think I'm gonna swap that out for Tatum now.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good move.
So, so Hayward would be my last guy out.
Yeah, I did want to pick a Hornet because they seem good somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the games I watch them. But
I mean, they're 6th in the East right now.
Yeah.
So it's shocking that they don't have it. I mean, and the reason I thought of New York is 7th in the East right now. So like, Jeremy Grant would be maybe another considerant. But so I don't have Simmons. I think is the biggest difference here. So really, it's Simmons and Middleton, right? I think that's the only difference we have.
Yeah, that is the only difference. Now that you switch Tatum for Hayward.
So
I just think Simmons, like, I just love his defense and the way he gets after it. And they're the number 1 seed in the East, so they could have 2 All-Stars, I think.
Yeah, I think you go either way, but it's tough. Those last couple spots were tough. So all right.
Yeah. Someone's gonna feel very slighted. That's how it usually goes, I guess.
Yeah, of course. All right, let's go over to the West. Unless there's anything else you want to jump on the East yet. I think we covered it all. So, all right, give me your starters.
I have Jokic, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard. Mm-hmm. Don't have that one.
I do have that one. I'll talk to you a second about it.
Okay. Yeah. Guy by the name of Stephen Curry.
Uh-huh.
And this is the hard one, right? Second guard.
This is the second hardest one for me, but continue.
I went Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. So we got difference on that second guard position.
Yeah.
I'll quickly touch.
Can I try to wait? So how many differences do you have?
Then your starters right now?
Yeah.
Only one difference.
Just the one? Okay.
So
did you go Lillard?
I did go Lillard, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Let me quickly touch on the Leonard thing. That was actually the one I was pretty quick on Curry and Lillard, and then LeBron and Jokic, and then that last forward spots really was. It was between 3 guys. It was between Davis, Leonard, and Paul George, actually.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, that's
ultimately I
great.
looked at it and I couldn't go with Davis, even though I wanted to.
Yeah, he's missed games and these
The
numbers
games
aren't good.
missed really just they've played the same amount of games. They both are.
His numbers are down, you know.
The argument I was trying to make in my head was he's the best defensive player on the pretty much the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
Should be rewarded, but then I was like, no, it shouldn't. It's an all-star game.
Yeah, and also it's not like Kawhi or George are bad on defense, you know.
Yeah. So, but let me get to Lillard. That's when you put Mitchell at that last spot. I actually put other person I was thinking about is the obvious Luka, right? At that
Yeah.
spot.
I haven't liked what I've seen this year.
I had three guys for that spot: Lillard, Luka, and Curry. And it's funny because they're all kind of the same role right now. They're like teams that kind of suck all around them. The whole offense revolves around.
Yeah. That's
And
why I wanted to pick Mitchell, man. Because he's like he's on the best team in the West, right? By record. And he's their best player. So
yeah,
why shouldn't he start the All-Star game?
I have Mitchell in my subs here, but yeah, Curry I think is no question. The funny thing is when I first did this, going back to what I was saying, I told you two changed. Back then the Lakers were on a super hot streak, and Leonard I don't think was even playing or had just come back.
Yeah.
So I had LeBron and Davis at that point with Jokic, and then I had Lillard still because Portland started off, but I had Luka because the Warriors were trash.
Right.
A little bit. So Curry, I think, has played over the last couple weeks, played his way into like no question. He's got to be that first spot. And then Luka's kind of played his way out of it.
Yeah, Luka. He's actually had a couple of nice games this last week, but I just don't think with their record and the body language and stuff, I can start him with the All-Star.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to include another starting guard with an under 500 record. I already filled that spot with Beal.
Yeah. Well, didn't you start Levine too?
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah, that'd be your third.
Yeah, that I'm definitely going too far.
Yeah.
And Curry's team's only 14 and 13 also.
Oh really? They dropped a couple of games, I guess.
Yeah, they did. They're in the 8th spot right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's like a lot of the teams. Maybe after we get through this, we can talk about some of where the teams are at because it's pretty close. Yeah. A lot of the teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, not surprisingly, there's a lot of teams pretty close together. I mean, that's kind of how it was last year as well. For the longest 2 through 7 was it like separated by 3 games.
Right.
So, all right, we'll go through the. So the only difference there was Lillard. I'm guessing you have him in the subs.
It's my last sub.
No.
He's the last one I wrote down. You can see on my list here.
Oh man.
Do you see it? It's backwards.
Fine. That's shocking, but okay. You have him either way. And I have Mitchell as my he's the third name I wrote down on my subs. Let me go through a couple more that I think we both
just
have.
So the viewers understand, there's also some wins pool subtext going on.
Yeah.
You have Lillard and I have the Jazz.
Yeah, you have the Jazz, and so other names I think you'll have Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he's my first.
Right. Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is I think you're probably gonna have. Oh, wait, Paul George. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And then this is the one you might or might not have, but I put in Rudy Gobert.
Oh, that's a good one. No, I didn't have him.
I have Rudy Gobert.
Maybe I should.
And then these last 2 spots, I'm curious. These are probably the most interesting of all of them, of all the picks throughout the East, West, starters, reserves. Because there's, I'll go through it. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys for 2 spots at the end.
Okay.
Let me go through them real quick in no particular order.
Okay.
Ingram, Zion, De'Aaron Fox, Chris Paul, Mike Conley, Devin Booker, Christian Wood, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Tyrese Halliburton.
And LaMelo Ball. My bad. He's not even in the right conference.
not even eligible.
I'm guessing your last 2 are in there.
I think so. Yeah, I might have.
Okay.
I was prepping that Halliburton joke, so I might have missed a couple, but I'm pretty sure they're all in there. Yeah.
Okay, so your last two. So my last two. Well, actually, your last three because you said you don't have Gobert either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have Gobert. My last two, I finally settled on. Initially, I was going more like fan voting, but then I looked more at the stats and more of the standings, and I had to put in Chris Paul,
Yeah. Me too.
and I also gave that last spot to De'Aaron Fox.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think your picks are totally defensible and good. I had Paul also. I think just what he did for the Suns and like turning them around and like, establishing a winning team is worthy of an all-star selection.
And they're
Also,
the
I don't know if
fourth
you
seed
saw
in
this
the West right now. They're the fourth seed. And
right. And
the fact that they
and
wouldn't
also,
have an all-star is kind of, to me, ended up being ridiculous.
right. And he's shooting 97% from the line, which is cool. And then I had I don't know. I think I might change one of these, but I had Zion and Ingram. But it's like they can't have two all-stars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Zion and I'm going to put in Gobert.
Okay. Well, that's funny. I had Zion as instead of Fox as my last guy out.
Yeah.
I was looking.
Can you give me Fox's numbers?
Fox's numbers. Let me pull it up.
Because I think I know Zion's putting up he's shooting 61% from the field, which is kind of why I put him on there.
That's why I had him on there. And
15 shot attempts a game.
His efficiency is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Fox is 23.4 points a game, shooting 47% from the field.
That's great for a guard.
35 from three, just solid. And looks like 4.5 boards and 6.6 assists.
How many steals?
Steals. Let's see if that's the steals. Pulling that up, we have his steals is only 1.1, so not super high, but
okay.
Oh, wait,
I mean that team has definitely been really, really solid this year. But he doesn't wow me in the same way that Zion. I mean, you got to have Zion in the All-Star game, right?
that's how I initially put him, and I was like, I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to switch Ingram out for Zion.
Yeah. No, I mean, if I'm giving an all-star spot to a Pelican, I'm giving it to Zion. Because he's definitely got the numbers to warrant it. And he's the fun pick. He is what you want to see in an all-star game.
The NBA would rig it for him to be an all-star, right? There's no
I don't think they're going to have to. I think...
the fans will get it, man.
Yeah. Although no, because the problem is that front court in the West is too.
So does the fan vote impact the subs at all, or no?
Not at all. The subs are 100% chosen by the coaches.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So, but yeah, let's go through a couple of the ones maybe. So no consideration really to Booker.
I don't know why, but no.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I just don't feel it.
I've heard this a lot recently too. The Mike Conley buzz on a couple podcasts I listen to. As far as all the advanced metrics, Mike Conley is the Jazz's best player. Actually, he's got the highest.
Yeah, I've seen enough Jazz to know that that's not true.
He's got the highest. Funny thing, he has the highest defensive rating on the Jazz, not Rudy Gobert. Now he plays about 90% of his minutes with Rudy Gobert. So
yeah, I not buying it. Sorry.
So we went through Zion. I'm shocked that you didn't find a way to sneak in Christian Wood in there.
I wanted to. I mean, and you know what? It's funny. He's played so well, and the moment they lost him, the Rockets have not won a game since he went down. They've lost 5 in a row. So, and they won 5 in a row before that. So he's definitely impacts winning, and his numbers are really good. But now I think he's missed too many games. But
yeah, Sounds like he has a solid MVP case, though, from what you just said.
I think if you win 100% of your games with him and 0% without him, you can't get any more valuable than that.
Yeah. We'll snip this little bit and send it to Adam just so
yeah. Breakout for him.
There you go. And then the other guy I wanted to include, just because he's fun to watch, but I mean you can't because his team sucks, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think he's another guy that's really fun to watch.
And it's funny, because again I follow them in the Wins Bowl, having the Wins Bowl, brutal stretch for them. They go, they play Lakers, Nuggets. They go Lakers first game, lose it in overtime. Lakers second.
His first game's double overtime, I think.
No, was it double?
I think it was double.
Okay, first game double overtime, they lose that. Second game, you're right. Second game, they're up by 20.
Yeah.
Goes overtime, lose that.
Yeah.
Third game, play the Nuggets, up double digits, lose by 2 points. They lost the 3 games by combined, I think, 4 or 5 points.
Yeah.
So it's funny, if they won like 2 or 3 of those games, then you're like, oh, maybe he should be an all-star.
Yeah.
But they did it, so he's out.
Yeah, he's out. It's just tough, and that's the other reason, because I don't watch too much of the Thunder. I just saw them recently in those 2 games, and I was like, this team is not that bad. This team's
They're not bad.
Very competitive, very, very good. It seems like he's learned from 1 year with Chris Paul of just like how to like make a crappy team not seem as crappy.
Yeah, they have some guys, dude. They have like Hamidou Diallo. You know that guy?
Hamidou Diallo.
Hamidou Diallo. Yeah. He's solid.
Dort? What about Dort?
Dort's amazing. I mean, Dort is. I'm obsessed with Dort.
How much do you think less popular Dort would be if his name wasn't Dort? If it was like what's
probably 25% less popular.
I don't even know what his first. I think no one would know who he is. If his name was like what's his first name?
Lou.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Lou Gans Dort.
Lou Gans. So Lou Gans isn't bad either. But if it was like Lou Gans Williams, right?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
You'd be like, oh yeah, that guy's all right.
He got some. I mean, he guarded hard in the playoffs though, so that'll get you some attention.
And didn't he hit like 10 threes in one playoff game also last season?
Yeah, he had like something crazy.
Like 7. I think he went like 8 for 8 or something. 7 for 7 or 8 for 8. He didn't miss. It wasn't as many, but
no, he's been phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, because they have him, Shea, and Horford. Like those are their pretty much only solid players.
And Diallo.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, they deserve 0 All-Stars. So
definitely 0 All-Stars for them.
So did you have Fox in your reserves?
Didn't really. No. My revised reserves are Davis, George, Gobert, Doncic, Paul, Zion, and Lillard.
So the big difference we have, I think, is Fox and Zion. Actually, everything else seems the same.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because I switched out Ingram for Gobert.
I would have Zion in there, but I think Fox is, especially the last few weeks, he's been kind of dominating. And I watch
the Pels are playing well too, though. I mean, they're around 500 now, I think.
So, all right. Well, I think we got a lot more agreement than I thought we would have. Honestly, we only have one difference on both teams. Two. We went 22 of 24 on similarity.
Yeah. Well, we had more differences, but we kind of persuaded each other, I guess.
That's true.
Do you want to talk a little bit about just like what's going on, like in terms of teams in the NBA and how they're doing?
Sure. What's on your mind?
Well, I want to know what you think about the Jazz, whether you think they're a legit playoff contender or it's just a hot streak in the regular season. And then I want to know what you think about the Nets and the Warriors. Those are my teams I'm interested in talking about.
Okay. So we'll start with the Jazz. What do you define as a contender? Like, can win the finals, win the entire thing, or can make the finals, can make the conference finals?
If you can make the finals, I think you're a contender.
Okay. So I think the Jazz are not a contender.
So who is a contender in the West?
In the West, there's only one contender.
Okay, fine. So I understand you got your Lakers stuff, but let me ask you this. who would you least want to play as a Laker fan in the Western Conference Finals?
At the moment, this might be biased a little bit from recent events. The Oklahoma City. No. Who would I least like to play? It's probably still be the Clippers.
Yeah.
Probably still be the Clippers. They just,
Yeah.
when it comes to the playoffs, if you have the best player, that's usually a good thing. And the only
Usually, not last year though.
What do you mean? Is LeBron
Well,
the
for the
best player?
Clippers, it didn't work out.
Oh no, I'm saying the best player on the court, but they didn't have the best player on the court. It was Jamal Murray was the best player on the court last year. They didn't have one of the top two best players on the court in that series.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of the Paul George revenge tour?
Yeah, I think it's a year too late.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, the Clippers are still the team that I at least want to see. There is honestly not really that many teams that I am too afraid of because no one can guard Davis and no one can guard LeBron.
Well, Davis, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he looks like, man. I mean, this version of Davis, we'll see.
I think he just knows off the short turnaround he can't push himself. And once they get that little all-star break turnaround, if he looks like this in the last 20 games of the season and not the first 25 games of the season, then all right, I'm worried. But
Yeah.
I think there's a switch that's gonna be flipped, in another month and a half. So
all right. I'll check back with you in 6 weeks.
Sounds good. We'll pick our all-stars again in 6 weeks.
Yeah. MVP.
So what was the other teams you wanted to go through? Golden State?
Yeah, I'd say in the West, Golden State.
And what was the other
Nets.
team? Nets. Oh, okay. Yeah, Golden State. I mean, Golden State, I think we talked about Golden State. They're a team that kind of sucks without Curry. And, when Curry scores 40, they win.
Do you think a team that plays Justin Toscano Anderson heavy minutes can be above 500?
I think you got your answer right now.
At the end of the year.
I think they're exactly where they should be and exactly kind of what I predicted after the Klay Thompson injury is hovering around 500. Going to be in that play-in tournament, somewhere between 10 and 7.
First round exit,
and
probably.
Yeah, they'll lose to. That's a team I wouldn't want to play in the first round if I were the Lakers. Not because I think they're going to lose, but I think 2 hot Curry games can push that series to 6 and maybe 7.
Even a Draymond game can sometimes get you.
Yeah. And LeBron and Draymond are best friends. So
yeah, they're tight.
So that might distract him. So no, I think the Nets are more interesting in that they came out right when they did a trade, looked awesome, scoring 150 points a game.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. Also unable to stop anyone.
Yeah.
The unable to stop anyone has kind of continued. But their offense has fallen off a little bit. It doesn't help the injuries and COVID,
Yeah. Well, Durant not playing. You can't really count the games with Durant if you're looking at like their playoff.
Yeah. But that all being said, they're still the number 3 seed right now in the East. So I think I'm gonna stick with what I said. I think they're the number 2 contender in that, just because I like Philadelphia still from the beginning. I'm gonna stick with my pick from the beginning of the year. As long as Embiid stays healthy, which is a big if. He's playing awesome, playing amazing. You said their defense is it reminds me of the Lakersy, where it's like when they really, really lock in, they're gonna be one of the best defenses in the league, right? Because they have legitimately on their roster
Dwight and Danny Green.
2 proven reigning defending NBA champions. In Dwight Howard and Danny Green. But no, Embiid and Simmons are 2 all NBA level defense players, right? All defensive team, first team level players. And then even we joke about Danny Green and Dwight, but they're solid defenders. You know, if you have them, you're obviously not gonna have Dwight and Embiid out there, but you know, in the minutes he's not out, that's perfect. And then
Yeah.
they still have Matisse Thybulle, who I think is another, putting him in. It sucks because neither of them can really shoot, but him and Simmons out there for like this brief minutes out there, it reminds me of, you know, what the Clippers can do with just on the defensive end, with, you know, George and Kawhi.
Yeah.
Two long rangey switchable 1 through 4, maybe even the certain 5s as well.
Yeah.
And it's just a solid team. And then you got Seth Curry, the best shooting Curry brother in the league right now. I
can't believe you went so long without being like a regular rotation guy, you know?
I heard the craziest stat. He has been on a different team every year of his career.
Is that true? Dallas?
Like, not necessarily. He's
Portland?
stayed on one team to the next year, but then like mid-season that year, he gets traded. So
wow, that's crazy. He's been in the league for like
which is
6 years.
Insane. Considering, I don't know if it's still true. I'm gonna pull it up right now, but he was, as of about a week ago, I looked at it. He was creating his own new club, the 50-50-100 club.
100% from the line.
He was shooting 100% from the free throw line and 50% from the field and 50% from the.
Man, those Curry genes are just unbelievable.
Let's see, I'm pulling it up. His field goal percentage this year is he's down to 49.2 from the field.
Yeah, he got
48 from 3 and 97 from. They all went down.
Yeah, no, he got COVID and he like was bad for a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be back to normal soon.
Yeah, let me run through the teams he's been on. Cleveland, then to Memphis.
Cleveland.
Yeah, started his career in Cleveland.
How many games did he play?
1 game played.
Okay.
Same
like
year.
12?
2013-2014 season.
Okay.
Same year, 1 game played, Memphis. Next year, only 2 game played. I'm guessing he was in like the G League and coming up for a game or 2. Next season, Phoenix, 2 games played.
Okay.
Next season, 44 games played.
Portland.
No, we're not even close to Portland yet. Sacramento.
What? I didn't know that happened.
44 games played. I think that was the Rondo year where he was like him and Hield, and then like Rondo was also there.
I don't think I watched a single Kings game that year.
I think it was Tyreek Evans' retirement tour year.
All right.
Then following season, 16-17, 70 games played on Dallas.
Dallas, yeah. That's what I first remember him like being on a team.
Yeah. Then to Portland for the next season. Then midway through that, or no, next season traded back to Dallas. And then
back to Portland?
No, then to Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
We're caught up to real time now. So
yeah, that Portland run was good, man.
Yeah. So no, I mean, it's funny how he's such a good shooter and he's been on so many different teams. But I think, I mean, I'm sticking with my Philadelphia versus Los Angeles Lakers finals, and it's looking good right now. Who do you think? So I think you agree with me in that the contenders for the East are. Would you throw Milwaukee in there?
I think you got to throw them in there.
I don't think you.
I don't like their bench, man. I'd feel a lot better if they ended up not screwing up that Bogdanovich trade. But yeah, I think you got to throw them in there, but I'm not. And then the Heat, obviously, they just like completely disintegrated. So yeah, it's pretty much Philly and the Nets, right? Like Celtics aren't really.
Celtics are tough, I guess, if they get healthy, but again, bench, and they don't have who guards Embiid.
I don't think they definitely can't beat the Sixers. Maybe they could like beat some other teams, but
they can, maybe if seeding works out for them, if they can avoid the Sixers, and then maybe Brooklyn can beat them.
Yeah, or Milwaukee could just beat them somehow. But yeah, I think it's going to be probably Nets, Sixers, and then Lakers.
And then we got to bring it up because they're the reigning defending Eastern Conference champions. No, the Heat dead. That's it. No chance.
Yeah, completely done. The Heat and the Raptors actually been playing a little better, but the Heat, I don't see it. I'm glad. I definitely like had him as a stay away in the wins pool, and I'm pretty sure I had him as an under in the over unders maybe. But yeah, they too much basketball for them. Jimmy Butler's got those Tibbs miles on him too.
Yeah. All right. Well, the last thing, it's funny you bring up Tibbs. What do you think of Derrick Rose with the three-peat with Tibbs on teams played with?
Yeah, they're gonna make those playoffs, man.
And did you see those playoffs? Taj Gibson also off of the scrap heap?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Noah's coming back. No. He was already on the Knicks. Didn't work out. So was Rose though, I guess too, right?
Yeah. So, but no, it's interesting. We'll see. I think the Knicks, I guess they're a kind of fun team. They're that Quickly guy seems pretty good.
Yeah, he is solid. He's
Seems
pretty
like
good rookie.
So all right, I think we went through all the interesting teams. So I think we're done. Good talking to you.
See you in Atlanta. Where are they playing it? I don't know where they're playing the game.
It is in Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you in Atlanta.
I got my ticket. I'll meet you at Magic City. All right.
All right, that's good.
All right. Peace out.
See ya.